Take notes.
Big Beach.
We're here.
My man, Alan Houston.
It's different this time.
Welcome back. Let me just fix the camera here. To Terry and Trey. So, what a day in Knicks land. It starts with Leon Rose. We're looking at him to potentially be the new president. Famous player agent, has represented everyone. LeBron James in the past. I think he represents D'Lo and Cat. I think he also orchestrated the Miami kind of big three. He helped in that. So a guy who's known around the NBA, just like the person who's tipped to kind of be on board with him. I don't know if it's in a GM role or consulting. Worldwide Wes, you've heard him. He's been dropped in rap songs. Wes is just like he's savvy. He's in there. He's in the know. He knows guys. Super agent basically, and someone who, and I think this entire move, trying to get people who really know the lay of the land in the NBA and can influence things, have good relationships with players, because we're a team that's had a pretty bad relationship with, especially with star players over the past 20 years. So I personally did not want to deal with CAA again. As you know, what in the past when we worked with CAA, it's not been good. They've had a lot of influence over team decisions. You know, Bargnani trade, us signing Chris Smith, JR's brother. A lot of wink-wink stuff. The CAA players can talk to management in a different way than other players. I just don't like that weird division. But Leon Rose is a different guy. We're going to have to see what he does. I personally, however, wanted a serious, proven executive that's done it at this level. James Dolan's going with the Golden State model. I think James Dolan kind of just goes with whatever the last thing he heard is that sounds smart enough. So he felt, you know, someone pitched him on the idea of the agent as the president, looking at the Warriors and the Lakers. Bob Myers, Pelinka. So he just kind of like, okay, I like that. Let's go with that. So Leon Rose will be, you know, taking over. It's not officially confirmed. Dolan put out a press release saying there's, you know, they're figuring out the details, but Rose has to get decertified as an agent before he can take over as president. So I think just a little, you know, the bureaucracy, the red tape is going to take a little bit of time. So we get that news in the morning, and then the rest of the day, we're just kind of all sweating bullets. One, are the Knicks about to screw it up and, you know, do a crazy trade, give up too much for someone? Are they about to sit pat, not do anything? What is Perry's role in all this? Because Perry may not have a job very clearly now in a few months. So what is he going to do at the deadline? So many questions. In the end, after all the speculation, Marcus Morris is going to the Los Angeles Clippers. And what we're getting back in return, we're getting Mo Harkless, Queens native, New York native, went to St. John's. A guy, solid wing, can shoot a little bit, can defend. Someone that I've liked for years. I'm glad he's finally in New York. We're going to see how he does for the rest of the season and see what's worth it there. And the rest of the things coming back in the trade. We got the 2020 Clippers first rounder. So that's probably going to be between 25 and 30, to be honest. But hey, you know what? Another pick. We're getting the rights to swap our picks with them next year. Now, obviously, they're a good team, so I can't see a scenario where we're swapping with them. But you never know. With injuries, like Golden State. If you had traded for Golden State's 2020 pick a couple years ago, you wouldn't have been expecting anything. And if you had it today, you'd be getting maybe a top 5 pick. So you really never know. But I like that there's a right to swap in there. We'll see. The 2021 second rounder. So that's another second round pick to add to our haul. And Isuf Sanan, who's a Ukrainian point guard, I think. Let's see if he ever makes it over here. He's like Orhan, what's his name? Yaramaz from Lithuania a few years ago that we got in like the second round. So decent return. You know, I wanted Terrence Mann. I wanted what's his name? Kamengele. I did want to see us getting a couple young guys back. However, in the end, it just ended up being the picks. But at least what I can say is this. This is for, you know, whatever the next regime ends up doing or being. It looked like Leon Rose is the guy, so we can expect him. And we'll see what they do with GM and coach. I don't have a lot of hopes that Mike Miller will be kept on. I see Leon Rose probably bringing in his whole his whole new crew. But if Mike Miller can kind of go on a run to end the season, you never know. So giving Leon Rose a host of young players, $40 million in cap room because of the team options. Randall's the only guy you're really committed to. Giving him the picks, even the 2023 pick that we got. That's the year that potentially we're gonna have the double draft where you have the high school kids and the college kids all entering the same one after the NBA kind of changes that rule with the one and done. So that could end up being like a first round pick. You're really giving anyone coming in here a really clean slate. When Scott Perry and Steve Mills kind of came in together in 2017, they had to undo a lot of things. Joakim Noah's contract, Tim Hardaway, Courtney Lee. There was still this weird thing. Now you're giving a GM in a huge market and a GM with a GM and president, front office, whatever. You're giving them in a big market where you have an owner that's willing to spend to go over the tax if needed. You have young players, even if you don't think all of them are great, they're showing some potential, especially RJ and Mitch. You have 7 picks in the next 4 years, and I think, what, 4 first-round picks in the next 2? So a lot of things can go there with trading, getting things back, moving up in the draft, like I said, a lot of options. And giving, you know, this is a really clean state, so I feel as if, regardless of how I may feel about us not having an experienced front office in terms of front office relations, not just basketball and players and being an agent and knowing that game, this is as good as a situation as you can give Leon Rose. So now it's up to him to prove that he deserves it and he can take this mammoth task of bringing the Knicks back to relevance. But while some may be disappointed about the trade deadline today, honestly speaking, I'm just happy we didn't do anything too drastic. I am disappointed that Bobby Portis, Alonzo Trier, to an extent Dennis Smith Jr., but he looked pretty good last game, so we'll see. Alfred Payton to an extent as well. Like Wayne Ellington, a lot of these guys should not be on the team right now. I think we're gonna see some buyouts because even Reggie Bullock, I'm shocked they couldn't get. You know, I like Reggie Bullock and maybe we're gonna keep him for the future, but because his contract got dropped down to $4 million over 2 years because he got a team option the second year. Such an amazing contract for a contender, for a shooter. Definitely thought they might have been able to get a pick there. I can't believe Trier wasn't traded because I'm like, what is Alonzo going to do here? We're going to lose value on him. But we can't control all. At least they didn't go mess it up worse. And I know it's a low bar with the Knicks. I got to be like, at least they didn't screw it up worse. But regardless of everything that happened in the last week, insane week, at least we can say we're going into an offseason where again, there is a plan and a commitment to be better. But at least now, with the young players and the picks, we have a combination, and the cap space, we have a combination of things I can't say any Knicks executive has had upon starting the job. They're usually always undoing something from the past. So we're going to have to keep our fingers crossed, Knicks Nation, as always. An eventful day, kind of ended on a whimper, but Marcus Morris, man, I want to say you were amazing here in New York. You got fans forever. Go get that chip, and if you want to come back and it makes sense, we could work out a deal, hopefully. But in the end, Knicks do okay. I think we do okay at the trade deadline. We get some value for Marcus. We don't lose him for free. Thought we could have done a bit better with some other things, but I'll take it. Let's move on. Let's get the last 30 games out the way, and let's get to this summer where we'll be going through another revamp, and hopefully this time things work out a bit better. All right, guys. Peace. It's Terry and Trey, and you know the vibes. If you like the show,
Please subscribe. And to check out some of our other stuff, click right here.